Tonight's the night, and it's going to happen again and again. And welcome to my next Dexter Resurrection Season 1 episode review video. Before I talk about that, though, pretty important. If you haven't watched the original 96 episodes of Dexter, the 10 episodes of Dexter New Blood, the first 5 to 10 minutes-ish of the first episode of Dexter Original Sin, or, of course, these first 8 episodes of Dexter Resurrection, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. If you're new to this channel or finding this channel for the first time, or perhaps you've been away for a while but now you're back, welcome to the channel. I'm a Dexter fanatic just like you. Join me and my other Dexter fanatics in the comment section to discuss this episode of Dexter Resurrection. I'll, of course, be there. The legendary Crazy Coffee Man will be there. Rusty Reels will be there. T. Parker Evans will be there. Vinny Lima will be there. Brad Hawk Talk will be there. And, of course, Troy the Cream McClure will all be there to discuss this awesome and amazing show. Make sure that you Hulk smash the like button to help out with the new YouTube algorithm. Otherwise, I'll have to put you up on my table and wrap you up in plastic. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. I'll put different Dexter-related videos at the end of this video with about 20 seconds left, so make sure you check those out if you haven't done so already. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe, motherfucker. Help me get over 100k subs. Join a team. Show your damn support and be a part of something special. This will be Dexter Resurrection, Season 1, Episode 8. The title of this episode is called The Kill Room, Where It Happens. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start with Angel recording his thoughts on his phone, just like Special Agent Frank Lundy did on that tape recorder. And Angel says, Dexter is a man of routine. Where are you now, Dexter Morgan? And then Dexter's in his car doing your car stuff, or he's supposed to be doing your car stuff. Tonight's the night. As Dexter says, we could earn a couple $100 driving people all over the city. He declines some your rides as he's got a deeper need to fill. Lowell, Mia, Gareth, and then there was Al. Harry says Dexter's losing all of his friends, and Dexter says they're not his friends. Harry says you can't mix your killing life with your personal life. It never ends well. Then Dexter calls Al, and he finds out Al's going back to Wisconsin tonight, but he's going to see a musical before that, and they agree to meet at a Cajun pasta place. Prater says the gala stage looks amazing since it's a gala for injured NYPD officers. Prater recommends a ramp for the stage to the organizer lady. Charlie tells Prater she doesn't have a good feeling. She doesn't know enough about Red, and Prater says he trusts Red. Charlie says he needs to trust her and let her do her job. And Prater tells Charlie to do her job and keep him safe. Harrison is teaching Dante about a boat, like a little electronic boat. And Elsa and Harrison chat. Harrison thinks that the thing with Vinny is his fault. And Elsa says it's not your fault. And then we have Dexter setting up a kill room at a salon for Al Rapunzel with a bunch of, like, wigs and stuff there. And he wonders how he's going to get Al on his table because he's getting old and his body doesn't necessarily function like it used to. And then we have Angel Batista tracking Dexter. Says Dexter's been at the same location for a while, which means he's not taking care of passengers. Then we have Detective Claudette Wallace is reading up on the Bay Harbor Butcher while listening to her song, Staying Alive. I don't know why they keep playing that. That's apparently her jam. And she's reading info about James Dokes, obviously the Bay Harbor Butcher, at least in the tabloids' opinion, and a missing homicide captain, Aaron Spencer. So we have another callback to Original Sin. Captain Maria LaGuerta getting killed in a shootout with drug lord Hector Estrada. And then Angel Batista being promoted to captain. And then she sees the bowling team picture with Masuka, Angel, Dexter, and I can't remember who the other guy is, if he's a no-name character or not. Too bad it wasn't Soderquist. That would be awesome. And then we have Oliva is in a tuxedo, and he's getting ready for the gala. And Claudette points out that one of his jacket sleeves aren't necessarily the same length. They're off. And then we have Angel coming out of the subway, recording more stuff on his phone, just like Frank Lundy. So I think that's definitely a callback to Frank Lundy, because he hasn't done that yet before in this season. And then Angel can't seem to find Dexter's car as he's left. What was Dexter doing here for an hour without moving? And then Dexter is getting more acupuncture from Joy. She tells Dexter Sam got into Berkeley, and Joy does some complaining about Blessing, how he's overprotective, doesn't ever want her to leave. He just wants her to stay at home all the time. And then Dexter mentions that Blessing was a child soldier to Joy, and it turns out that she didn't even know about that life of Blessing. So Joy starts to cry and then leaves. And then Harry says, "Way to go, Dex." And then Dexter's shoulder is now feeling fine. He'll be able to get Al on his table. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to lift him up because Al's a big guy. And then Harrison calls, says he fucked up and he needs some advice on how. Are you free to meet up? And then Dexter asks him to meet in the theater district. And Dexter suggests that he talk to Vinny as he can be persuasive. No, I'm not going to kill him. He doesn't meet the code. But I just want to talk to him. Maybe I can, turn him around and get him to see the light or something like that. And then Harrison thanks Dexter, and then he tells Harrison he's tired and wants to get the check and leave. And then Dexter looks into Vinny, that his transgressions are more serious than Harrison thought. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, where the fuck are you? As Al hasn't come out of the play yet, the musical, whatever it was, and like he was supposed to. So Dexter calls Al, and he tells Dexter he took off at intermission, and Al tells Red to bid farewell, and he's going back to Wisconsin now, and he throws his phone out the window. Is Al really going back to Wisconsin? Or does he know more than we think he does, and he's just putting on this, oh, shucks kind of thing? I don't know. Obviously, I'm worried about Elsa if she has a ponytail, but maybe we get Al in the next season of Dexter, but who knows? I'm just a little... This whole phone thing, that how Prater gave them all cell phones, I'm sure they're tracking him via cell phones, especially with some things that happen in this episode later on. But anyway, Dexter talks to Constance about mold, and she goes to get the New York State handbook, and then Blessing arrives home and wants to talk to Dexter for a minute. And sure, Dexter says, "How could you do this to me? Joy called me. How could you tell her about my past?" And Blessing says she's going to think that he's a monster. And Blessing says, "That part of my life was always supposed to remain separate. I never wanted to bring that into my house." And Dexter says he's sorry, and Blessing says, "You betrayed me," and he leaves. How is that going to get fixed? Or is Blessing's days numbered? Who knows? Or is he going to get angry and become even more violent and vicious? Who knows? Dexter goes to see Vinny. He is going to lunch. He doesn't want to see Dexter now, even though Dexter had been waiting in his office building. So Dexter ignores the receptionist and goes straight into his office. And Vinny's like, "Get the fuck out of my office!" Then we have Harrison telling Gigi he stopped by the financial aid office and officially applied. And they make a date to hang out tonight. And then Dexter gets Vinny with the M99 and puts him in his trunk. And then Dexter says to himself, when one door closes, another one opens, as he has a fully prepared kill room. Harrison and Gigi go to the club and dance. Gigi's wrist injury is going to prevent her from being a detective. And Harrison's like, my dad was a forensic, which helped solve a bunch of crimes for Miami Metro. There's still options in law enforcement for you. And then I think she was actually fucking with him there. I don't know for sure. And then we have Harrison performing oral sex on Gigi, which obviously leads to more fun and excitement, some real sex. And then we cut to Dexter with Vinny on his table at that salon that he was going to take care of Al in. And then we have Angel Batista right outside the salon, and he gets in the salon, or he opens the gate and enters, and then Vinny comes out running. He's going to kill me, or run, and he runs over Angel, and then get out of my way, you cocksucker. And then Dexter gets away as he cut Vinny loose. And then Angel kind of takes a look at this plastic stuff like, I kind of got him, but I don't got him. And he calls Claudette and tells her he found proof that the Bay Harbor Butcher is still active in killing, and he forwards Claudette the address. And then we have Dexter in his car wondering how Batista found him. So he searches his car, makes a mess of the back seat with all of his, your car, trinkets for passengers. And then he finally finds the AirPods and destroys them. Then we have Oliva and Wallace arrive at the salon place, and Batista says he didn't see him, but I was this close. And he mentions that he put AirPods in his car without a warrant, but, he kind of met up. That's a different story, he tells Claudette and Oliva. And then he mentions that, or I already read that part, he shows his phone to Claudette and Oliva, and then it, like, the location thing, like, he doesn't see Dexter anymore, and realizes that Dexter must have destroyed it, because Dexter is smart. So this all makes Angel look guilty, like he did it, all him, and they think he's, like, guilty, I think. And then Gigi mentions to Harrison that she can't believe that her first time was going to be in a fancy hotel. Wait, she's fucking with Harrison yet again, and then Harrison is finally catching on. And then we have Dexter and Harry talk about the situation, and Dexter knows that Angel won't give up until he's behind bars. And then we have Claudette calling Joseph Joey Quinn to check the status on the Bay Harbor Butcher case. And Quinn's like, that case has been closed for years. And Claudette says that she met his captain, Angel Batista, who is actively pursuing it. And Quinn says, what? And then he tells her he retired. He up and quit out of nowhere, and he's really a good guy, but... And then Quinn doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in New York. And then Claudette just kind of starts reading the page, and then she sees the picture of the bullying, Dexter, Angel, Masuka, and the other guy who I can't remember who it is, if they even named him. And then, like, she doesn't have an end of the call. We don't see what happens in the end of that call. And then we have Dexter and Harrison out. Vinny's now taking care of the mold, and Harrison, he thanks Dexter. He's happy about that. And Harrison wants to know if he could, stay at his place for the weekend. And then we have Leon Prater enter this place. Red, I didn't know you had a son. And then we see Charlie outside with, like, a big grin, and that's what ends this episode of Dexter Resurrection. So, pretty good episode. I'm a little annoyed with some routes that they're taking with this. I'm going to give the episode an 8.7 out of 10. My character of the episode is going to be Angel Batista. It was good to see Quinn again. I don't know for sure if we'll see him again. He's not listed for any more episodes, but I don't know. Al's not listed for any more episodes either, but IMDb's not right. Trust me. So I think the ultimate thing that's going to happen in this season is they're going to frame, or Dexter's going to frame Angel as the Bay Harbor Butcher. I think that's what's going to happen. But good episode nonetheless, even though I don't like the whole Angel getting potentially framed as the Bay Harbor Butcher thing. So you've heard all I have to say about the episode. Now it's your turn. If you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on my table and wrap you up in plastic, and you know what happens after that. Share this video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Dexter Resurrection. I'll be there. Crazy Coffee Man will be there. T. Parker Evans will be there. Brad Hawk Talk will be there. Vinny Lima will be there. Rusty Reels will be there. And, of course, Troy the Cream McClure will be there. Let us know your thoughts, your score, your character of the episode, any predictions that you have for the last 2 episodes of Dexter Resurrection. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe, motherfucker. Join the team. Show your damn support. And be a part of something special. And you never know where you're going to see on JDev TV.